Zevahim Daf. Peh, starting from Peh Dalet Amud Bet, three lines from the bottom. Marabi Yohanan. Hashohet Behema Balela Bifim. Someone who slaughtered a Hekdesh animal at nighttime inside the Hatzer. Behela Bahut, and you brought it outside the Hatzer. Hayab, yeah, Hayab, because you brought it outside. Lo Tehe Pehutam, Yishachet Bahut, Mala Bahut, because it's no less, or no, not as, it's definitely more severe in the case of a guy who slaughters it outside and then offers it up outside. So even though the guy did it at nighttime, which is NG, he still slaughtered it inside and brought it out. Mativ Rav Hiya bar Avin, Hashchet Of Bifnim Ma'aleh Bahut. Question, the Mishnah says, someone slaughters a bird inside the Hatzer and brings it up outside. Patur, Patur. Since you did Milika, not Shahita. Shahat Bahut, Malachut, he did both outside, Hayav Yachayav. Nimad Lote Bahutam, Shahad Malachut. How come we don't say what there also? It shouldn't be less severe than if you're doing it outside. Outside. That's a good question. Even the right? If you want to answer it, Shahitata Auf Bifim Mikta Klate. Doing Shahita on a bird inside the Hatzer is like killing it and not shechita. That's why it's not considered offering it outside. But slaughtering an animal at nighttime is considered shechita, and if you bring it outside, you're chayav. Parts of a korban of kodesh kalim that are brought up on the mizbeach before the blood was thrown. The later do you don't bring it down. Na'asu lahmosh mizbeach because that's like the payment from the mizbeach, and that's what the mizbeach takes. Amar bizira. Afanan amtina bring a proof from Mishbreta. Shenishbach the man the case of the blood spilled. V'shezam ala hozlakim where the blood went outside the curtains. Seemingly no difference between kalim and koshim. Umatan the invalid zrog, endless zrog, just like over there, if he wanted to throw it, he can't throw it because it's gone. Amart imalul, but still the korban does not come down. Hacha the invalid zrog zrog, but over here, in the case of Ula, where the kohen wants to throw it, he can throw it. Lo kosh again, so for sure, if it goes up, it can come down. Where it says, Targima akoshe koshim. No, who says? Maybe that part of the Braita is referring to koshe koshim. That's why they stay up. But Kalim maybe don't stay up. As I had a Pesach, but Quran Pesach, the Koshim Kalim, with other Kalim, we also, would leave it up. The says, no, Telegama Beshvul Ishman. But the case of the Quran Pesach was only slaughtered where it was slaughtered for the wrong intention. That's not a proof. Where it says, Tam Mishnah says, V'chulan, Jalu, Hayin, Legabem, V'ach, all these cases, if you bring it on top, they bring it down. Hashahutin lo yerdu, but it sounds like it's slaughtered, you don't bring it down. My love, Shloshna Koshe Koshim, Loshna Koshim. Sounds like difference, Kalim or Koshim. Question. Where it says, no, la, Hashahutin over there by the case of slaughtering. Mehin do some come down, Mehin lo do some don't come down. Koshim come down, stay up, Kalim come down. Where it says, Vaha, Kulan, Kalim, Mishnah said all of them. Sounds like it doesn't make a difference. Where it says, Kulan Ahayin, that's referring to live animals, those come down. Cheetah, what's the Hidush? Flying animals are going up, and of course, should have just said outright the live animals don't come down. What's the big Hidush? Where it says, really, when it says that animals don't come down, that do come down is the live ones. Ubedukin Shabayin, and the one also talking about case of a light, a minor moon, like the eye issue. But according to Rabbi Akiva, who holds that this type of moon, they don't come down. But if they go up before the slaughtering, they do come down. Where it says, why to establish the case of a moon? In Maseifa, the next part of the Mishnah says, "V'chein olah shata chayil rosh m'be'atred." In order that goes to the top, you bring it down. If you slaughter it on top, you should skin it and take out the parts on top. You don't skin it and take apart the pieces. The Pasuk says only regarding kasher olah you should do it. Only kasher na pasul. So what's the case? Where it says, it's true. First case pasul, second case kasher. Where it says, my kamash what's the hidush? Where it says, the yesh have said, hidush is that you still can skin and dismember the olah while slaughtering it. Where it says, Uman damar ein hafshet v'nituach b'rosh ha'mizbeach, and the current opinion holds there's no skinning or taking pieces apart. Mike, remember what does it say? Achman Skinan, Kigon Shaitala, Sha'ata Kosher, in a similar case where the Korban at one point was kasher after the blood was thrown, then it became possible. There are other Rishonim, according to Demar, that he holds, Kevin Shinzakran, once the blood was thrown, Vortza Basasha Arachab, and the meat was considered kasher at one point. If Shetana Beorada Kaim, you can skin it and give the stuff to the Kwani. Elotani, now the problem is, the practice says, Kesed Ose, how do you do it? Morita Karavim Matamadechim, take out the innards and wash them. Seemingly, if it's kasher, otherwise, why are you washing it if it's pasul? You can't bring it back up where it says, hey, what are we supposed to do with the innards otherwise? We should leave it with the stuffed with the excrement that's inside of it already. Hekriveru na lepehatecha yirtzecha o yasicha panecha. This pasuk over here is referring to a concept that would you offer it to your governor? Would you order to offer it to your president? Meaning it's not kavod. That's why we wash it up. Gemara says, "Anna nachi kaminan." That's what our question is. Midihan lamali, why you have to wash it if you're not bringing it back up? The Gemara says, "The metrame b'kohen achrin sinning because they're washed, so that another kohen accidentally finds them and doesn't know he'll bring them up. We have to have it washed already." The Gemara says, "One second, you're washing it so that if a kohen does by accident, he'll put it back. You're setting the guy up for failure." The Gemara says, "It's true, but still better that we do that than to have our Kodesh laying around in a non-beautiful looking way. Okay. Sacrificial parts of the kodesh kalim current the brought them down before the blood was thrown. Do you bring it up or not? Do you take it down or not? You should also ask whether or not you're chayav me'ilah by going up. Me'ilah look I don't hold me'ilah. It's not considered stealing betmitash. Because but the throwing of the blood only makes it me'ilah. I'm only talking about when you're bringing it down. You tell me you can't bring it down. There's no such thing as me'ilah there. Different version. Rachman Bar Yitzhak Matan Yachi, he says, no, this is what happened. Sacrificial parts of a korban that was brought up before the blood was thrown. Is there me'ilah over here? Marle says, we're about going down. Marle, you didn't look at it's not a question for going down. Because it's considered part of the Beach's payment. I'm just worried about me'ilah. What you're to do, you don't bring it down. And there's no me'ilah. The following things are not pasul. They give a whole list in the Mishnah. Amar Yochanan lo hechshir Rabbi Akiva ela bedukin shebayin. Rabbi Akiva only holds that the considered a pasul part is only when there's that mum of the cataract eye, which is a minor mum. Or iluk shirin because that mum is not posel by a bird, therefore it's considered light pasul. And that's even when the animal's hekdesh is before became got the moon. When Rabbi Akiva would hold that if in case of a female animal that became an olah, then the mizbeach does not make a kasher. The kadosh, right? It has to be male. Because that's considered a case where it got the moon before it became kadosh, because it was always a female and therefore it was never eligible for olah before you tried to make it. Rabbi has a question. Yesh nirbaba afoto ein nirbaba for such thing as the bird being sodomized or not? Mi amar mina be'emalo tzita darovea v'neba. Does that say that? But do we say that since the pasuk says it's from the animals, seemingly it has to be eligible to be to and from sodomy, which is an animal. It has to be able to be sodomizing and sodomized, which is only an animal, not a bird. Or maybe since the person who's with the bird, don't try this at home, then if it's already the avera was done, it should be pasul. Where it says by Amar Ba, Tashma saying proof. Maybe Omer, Machshir Rabbi Umin, says that there's a mum, animals are mutar to leave in the beach if you already burned it. And if it's true that if it's a bird that has sodomy was mutar, Nachshir Namir Neva, then Rabbi Kiva also said about that. However, because it's already mutar. Meaning, if Rabbi Kiva allows a bird that was sodomized to be brought, then an animal that was brought should also be mutar if you already brought it up. Like we had that concept before. Since it's already in by bird, it's okay. I mean, we see from here it's proof that bird for sodomy is not good. Otherwise, you'd allow an animal that was sodomized already on to be brought. If a kohen did milikan, a bird that was sodomized, or designated, worship, is a zalat payment, or dog payment, within tum where it was a tum, it's you can't tell what gender it was, or it was a double gendered. All these are tamed through eating. If you eat it, you become tamed because they are considered nevela and not a good shahita. Therefore, we see that this bird is pasul. He says, "Well, my father used to turn away all these mum animals away." What's he teaching you? That's what Tanakh said. Either he's saying that's what happened, he's telling you a story, or he's reporting you what happened. Ibadema, different answer. What does mean that his father turned it away? Kil ahayad means he would turn it away indirectly, meaning he wouldn't tell you, he wouldn't pull them down right away. He'll put them quietly, conspicuously. to maintain kavod. Mar says, next part of the Mishnah. Kashem ma'alu mentioned just like they go up. Just since they can't go up, they should not. If they go when they come down, since they're not supposed to go up and the animal went up, if you bring them down after that, you don't put it back up. Marullah says, only applies that the fire did not start burning it. But the fire started burning this. If it was taken down, you bring it back up. Rav Mati teaches this on the earlier Mishnah. Rav Hinina learns in the second part. Which refers to the parts of the animal that we don't usually bring. Bones, sinews, horns, hooves. If they're attached to the animal, you leave it on. If you're separated, don't leave the phone to put in the back. Ma'ullah said, only applies if the fire did not start burning it. But if the fire started burning it, you leave it on. And if it was taken down, you bring it back up. The second opinion, the opinion will hold that this is on the sefa, which is with the disgusting pieces of the animal. So for sure, on the first part of the Mishnah, which is not talking about disgusting part of the animal. According to Ula, that on the first part of the Mishnah, which is the non-disgusting parts, but in the case of the second part, with the disgusting pieces, not even those the hooves and everything, that's not considered burning, and therefore, even if it got burned by the fire, you don't put it back up.